one step beyond.
Welcome. This is a special place. Things look different here. The flowers exist only in one color, in lighter and in darker shades. And it's not only the flowers, but also the trees, the ocean, the river, your face, your hands. On this island, color does not exist. Welcome to the island of the colorblind. 250 years ago, a disaster struck the island. A typhoon washed over Pingelap. Something must have angered the highest spirit, Isopao. Almost everything on the island was destroyed. Only 20 people survived. One of them was the king, and another was his wife, the queen. When the spirit Isopao saw the queen, he fell in love with her. He started to visit her at night, and they had children, and their children shunned the light, and everything they saw was black and white. But at night, they seemed to see better, like their ghostly father. I'd like to ask you to close your eyes for a moment, just a short moment. Try to remember the green of palm tree leaves. Try to imagine the blue of the ocean. Can you recall what color the person next to you is wearing? Open your eyes. I told you the myth of Pingelap, but Pingelap is not a fictional place. Pingelap is real. It's a tiny island hidden deep in the Pacific Ocean. The well-known neurologist and writer Oliver Sacks wrote a book about it, called The Island of the Colorblind. I found out about the island because I was talking on Belgian radio and about how genetics influence people's life, how this inspires me. And someone wrote me an email saying, I have a story for you. And that's how the story found me. Sometimes an idea sparks your mind and lingers in the back of your head, glowing like a shiny thought sparkle. And that's how Pingelap came to me. I was told the island tale and instantly felt I had to pluck the shooting star out of the sky, hold on to it, care for it, and let it guide me. In Oliver Sacks' book, he describes the two communities in Pingelap and Pohnpei, two Micronesian islands where there's an extremely high percentage of Achromatopsia. Achromatopsia is a very rare genetic condition that causes complete color blindness. I named my photo book The Island of the Colorblind in reference of his work. My project, The Island of the Colorblind, consists of 3 types of images, as achromatopsia consists of 3 characteristics: extreme light sensitivity, poor vision, and the complete inability to distinguish color. Achromats in Micronesia, they don't have access to means of aid like sunglasses or tinted lenses, so they deal with their limited vision by blinking and squinting their eyes, shielding their face, and positioning themselves according to light sources. They're dazzled by daylight, blinded by sunlight. The world appears to them as a burned-out image, an overexposed picture. I worked with a camera converted to infrared. I shot images in infrared to rediscover color while shooting, to reinvent this idea of color, to metaphorically create an imaginary image of what the world could look like inside a colorblind mind. If you can't see color, everything is possible. In this photo project, I also worked with photo paintings and normal black and white images. I want to invite you to embrace this richness of vision. What do you see if someone blushes? What if you only saw the world in just one color? What if green could be purple, and purple could be red, and red could be orange, and orange could be... In a world without color, you smell, you feel, you know. Can you dream in color when you live in black and white? What would you miss the most? I invited the colorblind people to bring color back into my black and white images, to paint straight onto the photos. It was often a very intimate experience for them, as it brought them back to the very first moment they were confronted with the fact they couldn't see color, when in school They would draw or paint, and their teacher would point out they weren't using the right colors. The sun isn't purple, it's yellow. One of the people I worked with described his childhood experience to me. How when his teachers and his parents discovered they wouldn't be able to teach him color, they came up with the idea of labeling his colored pencils. So as soon as he was old enough to read, he could actually color their sun yellow instead of purple. At first he felt very proud, but afterwards he realized, what did it really matter? What's wrong with a purple sun? Let's open up to new possibilities, new perspectives, new ways of seeing. Why not? Why not have purple rain, blue velvet, back to black, golden brown? Things aren't black and white. But what if they literally were? How would you color the world with your mind if you could repaint it? Color is just a word to those who cannot see it. We bring ideas to life. We give ideas meaning by the words we use. This is the power of words. But what if color is just a word? I once heard a story of a little boy who told his mom he needed to have the exact same haircut as his best friend. He got all excited by this idea of then going to school the next morning, and his teacher wouldn't be able to tell him and his best buddy apart because of their identical haircut. He didn't realize he had a different skin color than his best friend. He wasn't distracted or diverted by color. He wasn't conditioned to see the differences, and therefore he didn't even see them. He just saw things for what they were. He saw him for what he was, his best friend, an equal soul. It seems like when I worked with the people with Achromatopsia, they felt so vulnerable to paint, to not have control over color, to let go of something they tried so badly to control. You try to teach yourself something you might not be able to learn. They seemed conditioned to see the world as we color-seeing people see it. This is a call to embrace this diversity of seeing and this diversity of being. It seems inherent to people to fear change, yet to live in a world that is constantly changing. The next image you'll see is the image of the island. This sums it all up for me. This tropical backdrop, almost like a surreal painting of bubblegum pink trees and a deep ocean blue. This boat full of Pingelapese colorblind represents people setting off for a better future. These islanders, amongst many others living in a place vulnerable to the water, exposed to the sea, will live to be a generation of environmental refugees, as the sea levels keep rising and this matter becomes more and more pressing. This is a real threat for people I love. I came to deeply love this blinking and squinting-eyed community. They welcomed me with flowers, treated me like a princess. They helped me experience the island in every possible way. They made me drink fresh coconut and kava made of the pounded sakau root, cinnamon bark tea. They made me chew the betel nut and eat dog meat. I was declared part of the family. Many people are forced to undertake life-threatening journeys. They have to leave everything they know behind to then end up in a place where they're unwelcome. I'm extremely lucky because I have the freedom of choice. I choose to travel. I choose to go where I go and to be where I am. Not everyone has this luxury. Less focus on color might make the world a more colorful place. I'd like to end with this quote by my Micronesian uncle Adalbert. Welcome to the family, once and for all. United we stand, divided we fall. Thank you, or to say it in Pingelapese, kalangen.